1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey fiddlers, welcome to today's fiddle video. Today we're going to be learning a lovely traditional reel called Sleepy Maggie, not to be confused with Drowsy Maggie. I'm going to teach you the tune and a variation on the tune, and if you'd like sheet music and practice tracks for both of those, plus a harmony, plus a chord chart, you'll find a link for all of that in the description. All right, let's go ahead and learn the tune. First of all, let's figure out what key we're in so we know where our left hand fingers are going to go. We are in the key of B Dorian today. The Dorian scale is very similar to your usual minor scale. It just has one note different, and that's the 6th note, which is raised a half step from the normal minor scale. Let's just play it so you can see what I mean. We're going to start with the first finger on the A string, playing a B. Second finger, third, E, 1, 2, and that's the G sharp, that raised 6th note of the scale, 3, and 4. We'll also have an open A in the tune. That's easy enough. So B Dorian has 3 sharps, C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. Okay, we've got our key, B Dorian. Let's figure out our time signature. Sleepy Maggie is a reel, so we're thinking in 4/4 time. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, we have our key, we have our time signature. Let's learn the tune. As I usually do, I'm going to be teaching this tune by call and response so that you can learn it by ear. I'll play a phrase of the tune, you can pause the video and try playing it back. I'll play it again, you can try again. I'll play it again, you can try one more time. And if you don't get it by the 3rd time, no worries, you can always just scroll back and give it another try. As with many fiddle tunes, Sleepy Maggie has an A part, which is the first part of the tune, and a B part, which is the second part of the tune. We play the A part twice, and the B part is twice as long as the A part, and we only play it once. Let's start by learning the A part, and this is what it will sound like. The first phrase of the A part starts with the first finger on the E string, playing an F sharp, and it'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once more. You might notice that in this phrase, it's really helpful to put your first finger between the A and the E strings. You can just keep it there for most of the phrase. The second phrase of the A part starts with that first finger again on the E string, playing an F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just like that, we actually have the entire A part. It's just those two phrases. So let's try playing it through 2 times. Remember, we're starting with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. First phrase. Second. Repeat. All right, let's move on to the B part, and this is what that's going to sound like. All right, the first phrase of the B part starts with the first finger on the E string playing an F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. As with the A part, it's helpful to keep that first finger there between the A and the E strings for much of the B part, honestly. The second phrase of the B part also starts with the first finger on the E string playing an F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are phrases 1 and 2 of the B part. Let's try stringing them together. Remember, it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4. First phrase. Second. Moving on to phrase 3 of the B part. It's actually exactly the same as phrase 1 of the B part, which is quite convenient. So we're starting with that first finger on the E string playing an F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the final phrase of the B part, and thus of the entire tune, starts again with that first finger on the E string playing an F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are phrases 3 and 4 of the B part. Let's put them together. Remember, we're starting with 1, 2, 3, 4. Third phrase. Fourth. All right, and that is our whole B part. Let's try playing it all the way through. Remember, that first phrase starts 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. First phrase. Second. Third. Fourth. Just a note, you might notice the B part kind of ends on a cliffhanger there. If you're going to repeat the tune, it just leads right back into the A part. But if you're going to wrap up the tune at the end of the B part, you could just play one long F sharp on the E string. Or if you felt like it, you could play a B first finger on the A string. That's our whole entire tune. Let's play it all the way through. Remember, we're going A, A, B, and we'll add an F sharp at the end. Just a long note to kind of wrap up the tune. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. A part. And if you'd like to try playing that up to speed with guitar backup, you can go back to the beginning of the video and play it along with me. But before we wrap up for today, let's go ahead and learn a little variation on this tune. We're just going to throw in some melodic changes in the A part, and in the B part, we're going to add some triplets, or depending on what you want to call them, you might call them cuts. Here's what the A part variation is going to sound like. Okay, here's what's going on there. The first thing we're doing is replacing this with this. So what we're doing there is we're elongating that first note, that F sharp. We're holding it for an entire dotted quarter note's worth. 1 and 2. Then we have a bunch of eighth notes. So that's 1, 1, E, 3, E. But what we're gonna do is slur those first 3 notes in an up bow. So we're gonna go long note, then slur 3, and then 2 separate. Because the first 2 eighth notes are both F sharps, we had to separate them with a little grace note. So just a really quick tap with your second or third finger on the E string above that F sharp. So the effect is this. The next measure, instead of playing, we're gonna do the same rhythmic pattern. We're gonna hold that F sharp for a dotted quarter, then a bunch of eighth notes, slurring the first 3. So it's 1, 1, E, A, 2, E. The last thing we're gonna change here is in the next measure. Instead of playing, this time we're gonna play. So again, we've got this same rhythmic pattern where we have a dotted quarter, that first finger on the E string. And this time, the 3 notes we're slurring are the 4th finger on the E, 1st finger on the E, into the 1st finger on the A. Then we've got these last 2 separate notes, 3 and E. So it's. Then thankfully, our last measure is just normal. That's our entire A part variation. Let's play it through 2 times. Remember, it's starting 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Moving on to the B part variation, this is what it's going to sound like. All right, here is the deal. We're adding a whole bunch of these, which you might call cuts or triplets. A cut or triplet divides a quarter note into 3 shorter notes. I think of it as 2 16th notes and an eighth note. So instead of a quarter note, you have 2 16ths and an eighth. But it happens pretty quick. You also might want to add a little crunch to those notes to make them more percussive. All right, so where do we put them? Anywhere in the B part, we'd normally have this pattern. We're gonna change it to this. So we're slurring from the 1st finger on the E to the 1st finger on the A string, and it helps to put that 1st finger in between those 2 strings. Then we have the triplet here. Often people prefer their cuts to be down, up, down rather than up, down, up. I do a lot of up, down, up triplets. You can take them or leave them. So in our first phrase, we wind up with second phrase. In the third phrase, I put a string of 3 of those patterns together. And then go on. And then our last phrase is just normal. So we've got that's our B part variation. Let's play it all the way through. Starting with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we have the entire variation. Let's try playing it all the way through A, A, B, with an F sharp at the end just to wrap up the tune. Remember, we're starting with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, A part. Repeat. B part. And if you'd like to try playing that up to speed with guitar backup, you can go back to the beginning of the video and play it along with me. All right, fiddlers, that wraps up today's fiddle video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you'd like sheet music and practice tracks for the tune, as well as the variation that I played today, plus a harmony, plus a chord chart, you'll find the link for all of that in the description. Many thanks as always to my brother, Dan Faiella, for providing the guitar backup at the beginning of this video. Have a wonderful day, happy fiddling, and I'll see you soon.